Hello Shenanigamers, and welcome to Darkest Dungeon. This is one of my favorite games. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it, starting an entirely new game. The Shenanigamer Estate. Let's go.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
The Old Road. With the stagecoach destroyed and the caretaker gone, you will have to make the journey to the Hamlet on foot. Now, I've played this game on my own, plenty, but we're going to go ahead and go through the tutorial for those who have not. Map navigation. You are currently in a room. To move forth, click on another room on the map display. This will take you to the connecting hallway. So we start here with Reynold, the Crusader, and Dismas, the Highwayman. So we go to the map and click.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The Hamlet is just ahead.
Hallway movement. While in a hallway, press D to move forward, A to move back. If you prefer the mouse, you can click ahead or behind the party to move them. So again, click forward or behind. A and D, doesn't really matter. You can also use a controller.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Kill the enemy. Combat is turn-based. Under Hero's Turn, click a skill icon and then click on a highlighted target. If you can't select a particular skill, it's because that hero needs to be standing in a different spot or there are no valid targets. Mouse over the skill to see the requirements. Dismas has Open Vein, a melee hit that can cause some bleeding, lower their bleed resistance and speed with a debuff. Pistol Shot, a ranged hit with extra damage against marked targets. Grape Shot Blast, which hits the first 3 enemies with a ranged hit, and can increase their crits received for the debuff. And Tracking Shot, which bypasses stealth with a ranged hit, and also buffs Dismas with higher damage, accuracy, and critical chance. But he can only use it once. Let's go ahead and Open Vein. Make him bleed. The uppercut slice. Knocked Reynold back. Reynold has Smite, a melee hit with 15% higher damage against unholy targets. The Brigand Cutthroat is a human target, so he does not have that bonus here. Zealous Accusation is a ranged hit that hits both in the front position, first and second. The Stunning Blow is a melee hit that inflicts a stun, and Bulwark of Faith you can use only once, but gives a buff to the torch, which is how much light is up here. Marks himself, and gives him 20% higher protection. But this guy's already nearly down, so let's take him out.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Won the first one. Loot. Each item, if you take it, will occupy space in your inventory. Mouse over items to show details about them. This works in your inventory too. Press escape to close this window, or you can click the X. We found 100 gold. Gold greases palms, builds empires, and instigates murder. That it does. We also start with 2 food. Let's keep going then. Interactive objects. Curios. While exploring, you will often find interactive objects. Click or press W to investigate them. Take a look at this tent. Traveler's tent. Someone has camped here recently, so we'll check inside it. Some valuables inside.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Indeed. You see the light level went
Leave
down.
nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places. Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
We shall do exactly that. So yeah, he hit this brigand fusilier, hit us with an attack that hit both of us. And there's a brigand bloodletter at the front there. Let's go ahead and get the bulwark of faith up. That'll have a torch and give Reynolds some protection. You fool. You've done exactly what I was hoping you would do. With Reynolds at the front, it means he's more likely to be targeted. And he's the tank. So he's good to go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and try... Yep, got it. Got him stunned. Now his turn comes around and he can do nothing. Get some stealth resistance wrecked up. Now open vein again, keep stacking up the bleed. Zero damage. Excellent. Smite. Punishment. Ah, he's whipping. Go ahead and focus that back down now, because this guy's only got 3 health. At the start of his next turn, he'll lose 4 damage. So we'll try and smite him down.
Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Corpses. When most monsters die, they leave corpses. Corpses act as temporary obstacles and will eventually go away on their own. You can attack corpses to destroy them faster, but often a better approach is to use ranged skills, push or pull skills, and even corpse clearing skills, or corpse clearing special skills that some heroes possess. Monsters killed with bleed, blight, or crits leave no corpses at all.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
You get gold medicinal herbs used to cleanse items and prevent maladies. Guess we use that then. And a portrait, an oil painting of some distant family relation. Completing a quest. After you've completed the requirements of a quest, you have the option to return to town at any time. Just click the crest. You don't need to return to the starting room of the dungeon exit. Yes. And there's a chest back there, but that chest, I know, is trapped, so we'll continue adventuring to investigate it. There's a bandaged trapped chest. Something doesn't look quite right with this one. It's trapped. But we resisted it. Not that it would matter much anyway. So at the end of it all, we get our rewards, we get our heirlooms and such, like the paintings or portraits. And we get some Resolve XP, which brings Reynold and Dismas both up to 1. And Reynold gains On Guard, +4 speed and +5 dodge in the first round. Very nice. And Dismas gets Wield Scrounger, +5% scouting chance while on the wield. Then we'll return to town. Hamlet. Short on gold, sell unwanted trinkets directly from your trinket inventory. Let's see how the Hamlet looks.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Indeed. So here we have the caretaker's activity log and the caretaker's goals. Rather, well, the activity log shows us what's been happening. Week 1, we got here to the Hamlet with Reynold and Dismas. And then the caretaker has quest goals, basically defeat all the bosses and all the dungeons, and the roster goals get pretty much one of every kind of hero up to level 6. Get help where you may. On any screen in the game, press and hold H to seek contextual help for controls in that mode. Try it while in town, exploring, fighting, camping, and more. Let's start where it all matters, the stagecoach.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
That they will. The stagecoach is your hero lifeblood. You'll need to recruit all of these heroes to fill out a party of 4. Drag and drop them into your roster. We start with Ditton, the Seeker Plague Doctor.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Quite possibly true, yes. And Ide, the Seeker Vestal.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
Upgrade the Stagecoach network. While you're here, spend some of your starting heirlooms on upgrading the Stagecoach network. This will increase the number of heroes available here in the future. To upgrade, click the plus symbol on the left and then click the upgrade. We'll go ahead and click that. Stagecoach network is right here. We also have hero barracks and experienced recruits. Stagecoach network increases the number of available heroes to 3. And you can see here it requires 3 and 4 of these resources, which are all down here. We have busts, portraits, deeds, and crests. So we need 3 deeds, 4 crests, which we have, so we'll go ahead and upgrade that.
Word is traveling. Ambition is stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
We also have our roster over here of all our heroes. We have 10 possible slots at the moment, but we can upgrade that later. We have the Ancestors' Memoirs.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
This shows us the House of Ruin, which is the intro to the game, and then the Old Road intro, which we just watched. Embark. There isn't much more you can do in town right now. It's time to embark on a quest. Click on the embark button at the bottom of the screen. Not just yet. There's a few more locations we can check out. The Graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
That they will. And then, of course, the Nomad Wagon.
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
Ooh, I like that haste chalice. But yes, the Nomad Wagon is where you can get new trinkets. We'll go ahead and embark for now.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Quests and parties. This is where you select a quest and form an adventuring party of 4 heroes to embark on it. Click on a quest to see their details, or click on quests to see their details. Drag heroes into slots at the bottom of the screen to form your party and default party order. So let's take a look at Ditton here. We are Slugger, so 10% extra damage on melee skills, not the greatest for them. And then we have Night Owl, plus 2 speed if the torch is below 26. That's not terrible. Weak grip on life, 10% lower death blow resistance. That's pretty bad. They have Noxious Blast, a ranged attack that adds 5 blight for 3 turns, and lowers their accuracy. Plague Grenade, a ranged attack that hits both in the 3rd and 4th position, with a blight of 4 points for 3 rounds. Emboldening Vapors, with 2 uses per battle, which buffs a target with 20% extra damage and 3 more speed, and Disorienting Blast, a ranged attack which clears all corpses in the enemy party, can shuffle an individual target to a different position and stun them. Pretty useful kit. We'll go ahead and add them. It says here they're preferred to be in the 3rd or 4th position, preferably. We'll go ahead and put them in the 3rd position. And then Ide, the Vestal. They're a lurker. 10% higher damage if the torch is below 26, 10% higher max hit points. For lurker and tough, and with thin-blooded, 10% lower blight resistance. That's not the worst thing to have. We have Dazzling Light, a ranged attack that can stun and ups the torch by 6, Divine Grace, which can heal for 4 to 5 points, Divine Comfort, which heals the entire party for 1 to 3, and Hand of Light, ranged hit that can deal 15% higher damage against the Unholy, and buffs the user with 25% extra damage and 6 more accuracy. Not bad at all. We can put her comfortably in the 4th position there. And that makes our team the usual suspects. We only have 1 mission here outside of the Darkest Dungeon. We can go to the Darkest Dungeon at any time. The Darkest Dungeon is the hardest and the most perilous task we could potentially put them on. As you just saw everyone speak how they very much do not want to go there. Instead, we're going to go to the ruins and do some scouting. We need to explore 90% of the rooms. We'll get 3,000 gold, 4 crests, and a debuff charm out of it. It's a trinket that we can equip to one of our heroes, give them slightly lower dodge by 2, but it will also increase their debuff resistance by 20%. We're going to go ahead and go on this mission. Now we move to provisioning.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Provision for the journey. You'll want to take different supplies depending on what region you are going to, how long the quest is, and your own preferences. But always bring some food and torches. For your first short quest, try bringing at least 8 food and 4 torches. Easy enough to do. 8 food, 4 torches. Embark. Your first expedition into the ruins of your ancestry. Be curious, be careful. Ruins, yes indeed. Now we can go to the map. We can see all of this here. So we're going to move to this room. Begin the trek. And here we find an unburned torch which we're going to take. A boon at last. Now you can see we have some bone rattle here. Unholy enemies, which mean that Reynold will have some great damage against them. So will Ide if Ide gets to the front. But ideally, Ide will stay at the back and be more of a healer, potentially stunning some people. Regardless of that, right now, skeletons are going to get hit with a tracking shot. Going to buff damage, accuracy, and crit chance for Dismas. While Ditton is going to up Reynold's damage and speed.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Smite. Down they go. And then we'll use a Dazzling Light on this one. And we get the stun on them too. Now we're going to go ahead and use a Blast.
Well struck.
A good crit. Excise the 2 now. And now we'll go for a... we'll try to open Bane here.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
An unlocked strongbox. A long-forgotten strongbox sits on the cold stone floor. Its contents unknown. The contents are yours.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
You get 100 gold, a shovel used to clear obstacles and break into things, and a jade, dull green like rotting flesh, worth 375 gold each. Not bad. Now we go back to the map, and there's a chance every time you get into a new room to do just that and scout ahead. However many rooms it scouts ahead is not necessarily something that is consistent. It will sometimes scout 1, sometimes it'll scout 2. But we did get a good scouting chance there. And now we've come to an
Even
obstacle.
the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
A crude jumble of stones and debris blocks the path. If we try and clear the obstacle by hand, it will take considerable effort. That will stress out the party quite a bit. The shovel, however, we can use to clear the obstacle with little to no hassle at all. And now there's going to be a fight here, which we saw on the map. But we got the element of surprise, so we have the advantage. We all go before them. Now we're going to use Noxious Blast here. We have a Bone Soldier, a Bone Rabble, and a Cultist Acolyte. Normally I would try to blight down the Bone Soldier, but the Cultist Acolyte is probably a better bet. However, we can't hit them with Noxious Blast, so we're going to use the Bone Soldier anyway. No damage, thanks to that protection. So we hit them with 5 blight damage per round. That's not very easy to get past. Now we're going to go ahead and try to smite this Bone Rabble.
Another one falls.
Take him down instantly. Now we're going to use a Dazzling Light on this one up front. We get the stun off. Dismas is going to go ahead and shoot him. Almost down already. Go for stressful incantation. Nice dodge. And the stun goes off, and on the next turn you are going to die. Because you still have 5 damage, and you've only got 4 health left. You're done for. I'm going to go ahead and
Press
shoot you.
disadvantage.
Great
Give
crit.
them no quarter.
Right where it hurts. I'm going to stack up the blight even higher just because we can. I'm going to go ahead and use some Divine Grace. Heal the party up. We're at full, but why not?
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Get more golden food. Now we're into the next chamber. No fight, no scouting chance there. We're going to go ahead and go north here. The torch. The light is fading. The current torch level greatly affects many mechanics in the game. The darker it gets, the harder things get, but the better the rewards. Right-click on a torch from the inventory, or from inventory, to boost the light back up. So we go to our inventory, we right-click a torch, the light improves to dim light again. We do so another time, it goes up to radiant light. Whistles. The pack contains loot, yours for the taking. I'll be keeping this for myself. Reward, hard earned. That's one of Reynolds' traits, actually. As you can see, they're a Warrior of Light, so 10% greater damage if the torch is above 75%. And they're on guard, which they earned from the last mission we went on, the last outing. But they're God-fearing, so they will only pray for stress relief, and they're a kleptomaniac, so they're prone to stealing items, which essentially means that whenever we find something, there's a chance that Reynolds will take any items we get from it. Dismas is a known cheat, so they're not allowed to gamble on town, but they have a hard noggin, they have 15% higher stun resistance, quick reflexes for 2 greater speed, and that Wield Scrounger trait, which we got last time as well. We're going to go ahead and continue moving now. An Acolyte, Bone Soldier, and a Brawler. Cultist Brawler, Cultist Acolyte, to be specific. Let's see. Who should we try to hit with this? If we stun the Acolyte, we won't be able to stress any people out. We resisted the stun, but we did get them closer. That stun isn't too much yet. We'll try and stun them again. Still didn't work. We're still getting some damage off though, so let's go ahead and bleed the Brawler. We're in for the old gods. Good dodge. Let's go with a Zealous Accusation, try to hit both. Not him close. They'll bleed out next. Graveyard Slash for 7. Let's go ahead, get a Noxious Blast going. Got over here. That blight will take care of them. Like
The
so.
slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And a pistol shot to the back. And light. We get the stun. And then a zealous accusation.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
They're done. A crest. A sigil of honor earned by family actions long since past. Emerald, green like molten envy, and citrine, yellow like fading hope. Gemstones are going to get us a lot of money here. A chest with your family sigil, an heirloom chest. Let's see what's in it. It's trapped. Luckily, we resisted it. So, now that we have that sorted out, we move to this room. There's a trap along the way.
Mechanical
If we'd seen it,
hazards.
we might have been able to disarm
Possessed
it.
by evil intent.
Yeah, had we seen that trap, we could have potentially disarmed it. Now we're going to go down just so we get this room explored. Then we can come back. Nice dodge. Now just in case they're waiting for us in that room, we're going to up the light a bit. Two bone soldiers and a bone arbalist. Let's go ahead and use a noxious blast. And a smite. And a grape shot blast.
Their
We'll take down the
formation
first
is
one.
broken. Maintain
And then
the
the second one
offensive.
will die to blight, and then the one in the third position will try to stun them. We get that. Brilliant.
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is taken.
Beautiful first turn. Get the blight on this one. We'll go for pistol shot.
Confidence
Light
surges as
doesn't
the
matter
enemy
then.
crumbles.
The blood. The blood is a special type of supply item. Any collected bottles of the blood will be retained in your estate at quest end. They may be added to the provisions of embarking parties. The blood is rare. Spread it around wisely amongst those in need. The blood we call is unyielding. The urge is irresistible. Only the blood will quell this thirst. We'll go ahead and take that. We also got a trinket, a blight charm. 20% higher blight resistance, -2 dodge. Go ahead and take that as well. We also got another emerald and some coin. And then there's this holy fountain. An ornate fountain, holy purport. Now we can try and use items in these. You can drag an item here to use it on this object. Let's go ahead and see if we can get something to reduce stress. So if we put in a torch into this spot, nothing happens. If we put antivenom in, nothing happens. If we put holy water in, divine benefit. Heals for 12, reduces stress by 20. Brilliant boon. And we can go back to this room now that we know what's down there. And as you can see, that's our stress going up there whenever those numbers and that little icon above their head hits. Well, above and around their head, actually. And that's what this meter underneath their red health bar is stress. And that will come into play later. Now, in this pack we have 6 food, 100 gold, and 4 busts. A sculpted bust of a once prominent local figure. Continue onward. Hunger. The exertions of adventuring have produced a growing hunger amongst the party. But we can either eat nothing, take 20% damage plus stress damage, or we can eat 4 food and regain 5% health. Obviously, since we have the food to feed everybody, we're going to take that first option, and then move into the next room. The quest is completed. We can return to the Hamlet, or we can continue adventuring, see what's in that final room. We're going to be dangerous and go into the last room. Watch your step. See, there's rubble here, a crude jumble of stones and debris blocking the path. We don't have another shovel, but we don't want to risk getting anyone too stressed out or hurt. So So we'll just go ahead and leave. We get a nice sum of coin from all that. We get some buffs and some crests. We get some resolve XP for Ditton and Ide. Reynold gets Nocturnal, lower speed if the torch is above 75. And Dismas gets Eagle Eye, plus 5 crit on ranged skills. That one's not bad for Dismas. And then we'll come back to the Hamlet.
The tents are pitched, banners fly, and the corpse wagons stand at the ready. The circus has come to town.
The Butcher's Circus. A traveling circus has arrived on the outskirts of town, bringing with them all manner of crude sport. Now, what that tutorial was all about there. Let's see if we can't bring that back up. Well, it was mainly telling us that. Let's go here. It's mainly telling us about quirks. Character trait. A quirk is a character trait on a hero. Quirks can be beneficial, or positive, or hindering, or negative. Heroes may start with some quirks, but acquire more through adventuring. Serious quirks are also a thing to worry about. Over time, a quirk can become serious, which means it is harder to remove at the sanitarium. That's essentially what that tutorial was saying. Now, if we go here to these new places we've unlocked, we have the tavern and the abbey for stress relief.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Stress relief. Heroes relieve stress by taking part in activities at the tavern and abbey. Each activity has different side effects. Experiment to find the best activity for each hero depending on their quirks. Committing a hero to an activity locks them in that activity until the next week. You'll have to take a different hero with you on your next quest. So in the tavern we have the bar, the gambling hall, and the brothel. You drink your cares away at the bar, enjoy the thrill of winning and gambling, or take the pleasures of the flesh in the brothel. Ditton got a little stressed out, but they're still fine for the most part.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The abbey calls to the faithful.
We're here at the abbey now. They can go to the cloister and gain peace through meditation. They can go to the transept and pray to the higher power, or go to the penance hall for the flagellation to bring their absolution. Reynold can only pray for stress relief, so this is where they would go. We also have the caretaker here, and they're currently enjoying the activity of peace through meditation in the cloister, so we can't put anyone in there unless we upgrade it. And then there's also the Butcher's Circus. However, we're not going to click on that, as it's a bit of DLC right now and has no bearing on the actual game. As of this point in time, we're going to go ahead and check the stagecoach instead. And we have some new people here. We have Grandcourt, a Vestal, Mathan, the Occultist, and Hachet, the Antiquarian. The Antiquarian here has Early Riser, plus 2 speed if the torch is above 75, and Stress Faster, 100% less food consumed if stress is above 50. We also have Deviant Tastes. They are not allowed to visit the brothel for reasons best left to discretion. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one untouched. And Shocker, minus 10% stun resist. They also have Nervous Stab as a melee skill they can use from any position on the first 3 enemies, Fortifying Vapors, a heal for 1 point, which ups bleed and blight resistance by 10% on the person with the heal. They also have Invigorating Vapors, which buffs a target with plus 3 dodge, and Protect Me, which they can use 3 times per battle to mark a target and force guard on an ally. But also buff that target with 4 extra dodge and 10% higher protection, so they can kind of have someone else defend them. They have a small attack, and they can heal a bit, and also apply buffs. Not bad at all. We'll go ahead and take them, since they're new.
She searches where others will not go, and sees what others will not see.
That they do. Now, Mathan, the Occultist. They're Warren's tacticians, so they get 15% higher damage than the Warrens. They have Necromania, so they're fascinated with corpses, and they are Calm, so they have 15% lower damage on the first round. After the first round, they should be pretty good, though, and that will kind of cancel itself out in the Warrens. So if we send them to the Warrens, that'll basically mean they have 15% higher damage on every round but the first. They have Sacrificial Stab, a melee attack which does 15% higher damage against Eldritch enemies. Abyssal Artillery, which hits the enemies in the 3rd and 4th position, and has a 15% higher damage against Eldritch as well. Weird Reconstruction, which heals anywhere from 0 to 13 points, and has a chance to inflict bleeding 1 point for 3 rounds on whoever they heal. And they also have Daemon's Pull, a ranged attack which can pull the enemy by 2 and clears all corpses, targeting the rear 2 enemies. Not necessarily a bad kit. We'll go ahead and take them as well.
To fight the abyss, one must know it.
Indeed. And we have Grand Court. They are Quick Draw, plus 4 speed on the first round, and they have Second Wind, plus 10 damage if hit points are below 50%. They're also Stress Eater, 100% increase to the food consumed if stress is above 50, and Dachnomania. They're obsessed with killing. They have the Mace Bash, with 15% extra damage against the Unholy with that melee hit. They have Dazzling Light and Divine Grace, which Ide also has. And they have Hand of Light, which Ide also has. The only real difference between the two of them there would be their quirks, and that one has Divine Comfort, the other does not. And that Ide is at level 1 now. We could take them with us, but we're actually going to hold off on that. We don't necessarily need 2 there. We're going to try and get many different kinds of heroes in here, not just many different heroes. But that is going to be it for this episode of Darkest Dungeon. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you want to see more content like this or other content, leave a comment down below, it helps us out a lot, and as a special added bonus to this series, whenever you get a character, you can rename that hero, and there are many different classes and many different heroes that will surely come by. So, please leave a comment down below in the comment section telling me if you want to be added to the roster, and we will name a hero after you. And then you will be on this roster as whatever character it is you choose. Now the roster does have a size limit, which we can increase in the stagecoach, which we're going to go ahead and do now, just before we end. Upgrade it to 13 now. However, it is very likely that heroes will die. So if you want, spots can and will open up. So please, give us names and we'll put them on there. If you want a specific class, if you want a character with a specific class to be named after you, comment down below. Well, that'll do it for this first episode. Thanks so much for watching. I'm enjoying this already, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.